Could you explain to us what assisted dying is?
Well, the emphasis is on the word dying. The person needs to be towards the end of their life, terminally ill. In terms of the law change we are seeking, we're recommending a prognosis of 12 months. So, in effect, it's not suicide. We call it assisted dying. The person is probably suffering, they're near the end, and this gives them the option to choose their time of death and have a dignified death. People ask me, well, what about the family? What if they disapprove? But really, it's the individual who should make the decision, and their decision should be respected. Since I've founded Dignity SA, I've become a magnet of stories. People are contacting me all the time about dreadful stories. In addition, I've had dozens and dozens of requests from elderly people who are suffering, wanting to know how to die. They shouldn't have to ask that question, and I shouldn't have to be answering it or leading them to the answer. The law should be changed so people have the option of a peaceful, dignified death at the end if they want it. It's not forced on anyone.
Now, often words like assisted suicide or even euthanasia are bandied about, but I see that Dignity SA chooses not to use those phrases.
Yes. They can be very sensational words. Even the headlines around the world today, Tutu supports euthanasia, Tutu supports suicide. I mean, they have been a little bit sensationalised, a little bit distorted, but really we're talking about people who are at the end, people who are dying and helping them to die. I should emphasise, this is not about ending lives, but about ending suffering.
Do you find that the biggest opponent to assisted dying would be the religious community?
I did expect that, but I've been invited to speak at churches. On Sunday I spoke at a mosque, Hindu temples, Jewish synagogues. It's been a very widely debated issue in all these religions, and they're open-minded to it. They're trying to find an answer in the context of their religion, which is quite understandable. So it isn't really a religious debate, but people do seek an answer within their religion. To me, the bottom line is that people don't necessarily die peacefully in their sleep. There are a lot of people out there dying terrible deaths. Desmond Tutu has highlighted the issue of assisted dying, and the fact that people don't necessarily die peacefully. He mentioned an example. Now we can debate it. There are lots of pros and cons. We acknowledge that. It's a very complex issue. Desmond Tutu has opened up the discussion, and let's talk about it. We have talked about very, very complex issues in the past, such as abortion, homosexuality, drug abuse. They were very difficult topics. Dying is also a very difficult topic. But let's talk about it. We are all going to die, there's no escape. But by talking about it, it makes us better prepared when we get there, and it makes us better prepared when our parents or our grandparents get there. Let's have the discussion.